I personally like to welcome anyone to the Labour Party. I think that's important, but it's a very kind of contentious.
But where do you draw the line?
Where do I draw the line? Well, probably. I sort of think John McTurn was welcoming someone like Jacob Rees-Mogg. I probably don't want him in my party. No, I think there is a limit, and I think ultimately with her, she's kind of, I don't know, she's not going to be there for much longer. But it is a tricky one. So it's incredibly her husband isn't the best person. That's the only way. Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
The Labour Party has always been a broad church.
It's a broad church.
We're a broad church, and she is not standing for elections.
I'm delighted to welcome Natalie Elphicke to the Labour Party.
In a week where Labour has welcomed a former hard-right Tory MP into their party, we're here at the Progressive Britain Conference, where Labour members gather to discuss their hopes for the next government. Peeps is here to give you an insight into what they're thinking.
No, I think that to win the election, we are going to have to convince people who've never voted Labour before. We're going to have to bring Conservatives over to support the Labour Party. So, let's see where she is and the kind of views that, people can change, and let's see how her views evolve.
Those decisions are above my pay grade. It's not up to me who's allowed in and who isn't. But what we're really clear about is that the Labour Party is a mass movement. It is a movement of people, and also people change. People evolve. I don't know. I haven't spoken to her personally, but I've been on a political journey in the last 10 years. I don't know what kind of political journey she's been on, and I think we need to be open to people coming with us, changing, being very clear about what is acceptable and unacceptable within our own party, and being able to grow a mass movement that is very inclusive from there.
I disagree fundamentally with a lot of things she said in the past. Hopefully she's not going to be pushing those within the Labour Party, but people do change their minds, and I have to hope that I have to talk to people to get people like her, who have voted Tory in the past, to vote Labour now.
The Conservatives and the Rishi Sunak for 14 years, they've let the economy down, they've not looked after our borders, they've let down the NHS. I said last week we had a Tory MP, a doctor in the NHS, join the Labour Party because he recognised that actually under Rishi Sunak the Conservatives aren't looking after the NHS. This time we've had somebody in Dover who's on the front line, seeing the crisis we've got on our borders, recognise that the Conservatives actually can't handle and they can't secure our borders, they can't look after our borders. If we've got Tory MPs recognising that actually the Conservative Party can't look after the country, that actually Keir Starmer is putting out a message that is resonating across the political spectrum, I think that's good. I think that demonstrates that actually Labour Party, it's the popular political party for the people of the UK.
Where do Labour draw the line with who they're going to let in?
I think Keir's got a very good strategy. Keir and the team know what they're doing. There's games at play here that are way above my pay grade. I wouldn't want my MP to swap, but if he said he was going to stand down at the general election, I'd quite happily have him swap, because he'll be long gone and be in the dust, and we'd get into government. But there's some awful people, but those aren't the ones. Those people are in. There's Tories who are in politics for their own gain. So people like Liz Truss. Well, I mean, Tufton Street. If Tufton Street said go join the Labour Party, she might. But other ones, I think there's ones that actually do maybe care about voters and maybe care a little bit more about things other than themselves.
But fundamentally, winning elections is about winning people over to your side. And if you do that and you show you're doing that, and you're showing that you can show the population that you can trust in Labour, that's absolutely crucial to winning, and there's no path to victory without doing that.
Where's the line drawn? Would you let in Farage?
I don't think there's any chance.
I don't think that's
Nigel Farage is ever going to be.
I think it's very clear from the kind of campaigning he's carrying out right now that the progressive vision that Labour's got for our country and our future is not in any way aligned with the kind of campaigning that he's doing right now.
How are you going to get voters to vote for Labour?
Camden's secret weapon, the leader of the Labour Party, Keir Starmer. He's a brilliant Camden MP, of course, but I think he'll be a great leader for our country, and people can see the change he's led in Labour, and I hope that means people put trust in Keir to lead that change as our country's Prime Minister.
I think if you look at some of the Prime Ministers we've had in recent years, they were anything but dull, but goodness grief, what a mess they've made. I think the country wants safe and reliable And you look at the party inherited with our worst election defeat since the 1920s, and where we are now. We're not there yet, but he's done an incredible job. I think he deserves a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I think he's not Boris Johnson, who's kind of gonna jump off wires and hold parties in the middle of a crisis. But we don't want that. We want someone who's serious, who understands the scale of the challenges, who has a deep sense of purpose. And for me, Keir is somebody who is motivated by his values, and I've seen that in Camden, and I think we'll see that across the country.
We shouldn't forget that the major concern that people have about Labour is that is whether we're economically credible.
That's what I was going to ask.
Although all that stuff is boring, that we're going to, people need to know that we're the opposite of what Liz Truss was, of kind of causing an economic meltdown. That they're going to be able to afford to live. The cost of living is still an immense problem, and that we're going to get the country back on track.
I know, boring is sexy, right? I think boring is deliverable. So I feel like the idea of something boring, I'm like, yes, I'll have that. I'll have 10 of that, please. So yeah, I think ultimately, I don't think it's really a bad thing. I think it's actually a kind of asset. I mean, some of the most boring leaders have been they can deliver the most. So yeah,
we've got to not try to pretend to the electorate that we can do everything in 4 years, because that was one of the mistakes in 2019, that people just thought that the manifesto didn't look realistic because there's too much in it.
Do you fear that voters will vote Labour because they just want the Tories out? How are you going to ensure voters that they should be voting Labour?
I'm not afraid of that. People vote for many, many different reasons, but it is absolutely incumbent on us as a potentially incoming government to make sure that we have got answers to the very real questions that the British public have, and that we're able to provide hope, that we're able to provide vision and stuff that is costed and grounded in reality. Words are cheap, but they can judge us by our actions, our manifesto, and kind of the vision that we're putting forward that's very tangible, and how we're going to, it is a mess. These range of issues, what we're going to do, how we're going to move forward, how we're going to help, Britain be what it can be again.
I think if you want entertainment, go to a circus. I think politics isn't meant to be exciting and flashy in this. We need a strong, stable set of hands.